people that trade, people that work together on projects, they will be more reluctant to engage in violence against each other. The European Union, the European economy needs openness and connectedness to the world as a human being needs oxygen.
Welcome to Straight Talks.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to meet each other and to speak to your audience.
Could you share with us your thoughts on the roles these initiatives play in building a more equitable global governance system towards a community with a shared future for mankind?
I think these initiatives are excellent, and I think they fit very well into the agenda of the future of global governance. We need to readjust, we need to reset the global governance. The UN system has given us a lot of benefits and dividends over the last 80 years, almost 80 years. But there's a need for reset, there's a need for rebalance. We have to take into account other views. And so I think that the Global Development Initiative, the Global Security Initiative, also in the field of green development, these are excellent contributions to the global agenda that we have to discuss in the upcoming year and couple of years, starting with the UNGA in autumn. And I would hope that this leads us to strengthening again the multilateral system that has suffered a lot from unilateral withdrawal by the US at certain moments, rising distrust amongst blocs.
Could you tell us your opinion on how different infrastructure plans can raise the efficiency of investment and promote long-term cooperation and achieve a win-win result? What are the similarities and differences of these plans?
Well, first of all, I think that co-investing, bringing together investment and capacities between economies is also a very strong peace-building policy tool. So I'm a strong believer that economic cooperation and common infrastructure, co-investment, brings also peace. Not only better development, better economic development, but also just peace. Because people that trade, people that work together on projects, they will be more reluctant to engage in violence against each other. To come then to your question, the Belt Initiative, the Silk Road Initiative, the BRI and also the Europe's Global Gateway, also the American investment in improving infrastructure, which is very much needed, some initiatives taken by the Indian government and so on, they all go in the same direction, is to try to better unleash the potential of economies, the potential of connection, interaction. This is crucial. I think at this moment, for instance, the European Union, the European economy needs openness and connectedness to the world as a human being needs oxygen. So to improve the connection, to improve the infrastructural links between these economies is very important, but there's a big but. We should do more than just interconnect. We should also look into the way we increase the interconnection, and that way should be more than ever sustainable. So could be virtual when possible, could be physical with real exchanges over roads and over railways and through the air when needed, but improving resilience and improving sustainability of our connections, our mobility and our trade.
So, is there any challenges that may bring to these corporations?
Yeah, I think we are living times where it is more about sharing burdens than sharing the dividends of progress. China, of course, is still making enormous economic progress with high growth figures and is resuming growth now. But in more mature economies, like the West, US, Europe, some other countries all over the globe, Japan, we are at the stage where it is of utmost importance to render our economic development more sustainable. And there it is more about sharing burden than sharing the dividend of progress. And that's, of course, a less popular item. People prefer seizing benefits than discuss amongst each other how we should share the burden of policies, for instance, that meet the challenges of climate change and reduce CO2 emissions. So I think that there a good cooperation and create a real view on positive outcomes, win-wins, is crucial.
Is there any impressive achievements the BRI brings to your country?
Well, I would say that in terms of Belgium, already before the BRI, we had a lot of Chinese investment. I remember that I met the people from Costco, and for instance, for the Belgian economy, the links between our port area, Antwerp, Zeebrugge, to Shanghai, to the ports in China, has been crucial for the development. Companies like Huawei and others are very well established in Belgium and provide us with high-tech solutions. So it goes a little bit beyond what the intentions were of the BRI. We also have our airport of Liège that is functioning as a distribution and dispatching platform for Alibaba. So we already have very good connections with China, also lots of enterprises that work closely together with China companies or have even a very important presence here in China. For instance, my constituency, we had the company called Picagnol, who was one of the first company to establish in Suzhou. We had pharmaceutical companies in Belgium that were amongst the first to be Janssen Pharmaceuticals, for instance. So we have a long tradition already of good connections with China. I think that the BRI now today plays a more important role in countries that until now had a weak development of their infrastructure, where China joins forces with the West and with the leadership of countries in Africa to develop their infrastructure and to unleash economic potential. There it really pays out in terms of better accessibility, better service to the people. I was recently in Ethiopia and I could see, in Somalia I think, or Ethiopia it was, and I could see, for instance, the new railway connection, what it brings to the people in their daily lives, and also what economic potential these better connections bring.
And some Western media may argue that China's BRI, so they bring the infrastructure plans to Europe or to Latin America, but they also bring the debt trap. How's your opinion on that?
I think that most of the economies worldwide have built up quite an important leverage, and so monetary policy and monetary adjustment should take that very well into account. And including in terms of the BRI, there always has to be a good reasoning, a good thinking over of the payback capacity of the economy of the country, and make sure that after the investment the country is better off than before the investment. But I think that in most of the cases, in a vast majority of the cases, this is reality. Of course, we also as Western countries have invested in development aid, and it's fair to say, let's be humbled by reality, which means that a lot of our development aid did not bring the countries concerned to the result we wanted. And there, of course, there are issues like corruption, governance, good use of money, good use of investment that are key, conditionalities. So we should be very careful in that field to make sure that when countries sign contracts and build up a certain amount of debt, that they have the payback capacity. But in most of all cases, that's reality, and the investment in infrastructure actually improves their economic performance.